Sustainability is a means by which humanity can configure its society to meet all its needs, in a way that preserves the resources required to maintain future generations indefinitely. And an inclusive economy is one in which decisions are made that consider and cater to the entirety of the Earth's population equally. Often in engineering, sustainability and environmental concerns are a side note, something tacked on to the list of requirements for a new product or service. Even if the product's main market value is derived from its sustainability, the design brief headline is always something along the lines of, "Design the lowest emission car." They always set an indirect metric for sustainability success, always removed by a degree from our actual goal of true sustainability. Allow me to illustrate what I mean with this example. Low-emission cars, let's use electric vehicles as an example, are a widely accepted sustainable way to solve issues related to our private vehicle use. And for us, they're great. They even have the potential to be driven by renewable energy eventually. And yet, if we want more of them on the road, they need to get cheaper. And that means the cost of producing them needs to fall. The decisions an engineering leader makes at this stage is absolutely crucial. Cobalt, for example, is a raw material required for electric car batteries. 2/3 of it is mined in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where 20% of mines have reported human rights abuses and employ child labor, according to the UN. With additional economic pressure from us to produce, and the already perilous political atmosphere in the area, it's the people on the ground that suffer. Corruption, instability, slow development. And when we look at the environmental implications, things only get bleaker. CO2 emissions from extraction and transport, destruction of biodiversity due to mines and transport infrastructure being expanded. The list goes on and on. We can find the hidden costs of our obsession with having a low-emission car everywhere we look. What I mean to say here is that by focusing on this indirect goal that, yes, provides end users with a more sustainable society and more inclusive economy, we're doing so at the cost of less fortunate societies and economies around the world. What appears to be sustainable from our perspective could in actual fact end up just being a facade. This serves to illustrate the fact that a globally inclusive economy, where stakeholders step back and examine the bigger picture of the effects of their decisions have on other societies, is not only important, but absolutely crucial to eventually developing a globally sustainable society. True sustainability is a stable state of the world, a fine balance that everyone needs to be content with for it to work properly. And economic inequality is the antithesis to that. Not only is it ethically reprehensible, but it breeds resentment, distrust, the sources of all instability. And as long as even a single part of the world lives in such turbulence, true sustainability around the world is impossible. I've used the transport technology field as my example because it's the field I know best, but these issues are universal. As an engineering leader, I want to help stakeholders in the engineering sector change their views on what a successful project, product, or service looks like. We need to move away from small specific goals that focus on end-user sustainability and the inclusivity of our target economies, and instead step back into the bigger picture and set goals for ourselves that force us to look upstream as well as downstream, to consider macroeconomic impacts as well as microeconomic, and to look out for the inclusion and quality of life for those indirectly involved in our operations.